All right, good evening, everyone.
Mic test, mic test. Yep, if you can hear me, just type in a hi. All right. So sorry, just now having some disruption issue. Yeah, because yeah, my wife is using live streaming Zoom, and at the same time I got to connect to YouTube live. So I guess two so concurrent session. It just like the network just go haywire. Ah, so sad. Even though we are in Singapore, first world problem, StarHub, yeah, cannot concurrently do two live streaming. I don't know. Zoom, I don't consider as live streaming. It's just like a live conference. And then right now you have this YouTube live. So, yep, lesson learned. So, cannot do two at the same time. So, I got to ask my wife, can you allow me to use the house Wi Fi? Yep. Yep. So my wife is on another sessions. Myself is right here with you guys. Yeah. So sorry. So let me just like settle down a bit. Yep. So there's a few things that later I'll be sharing with you. So especially how I'm going to do this moving forward, and then what are the contents that I've been doing, and then how I'm going to do this together with Jiaxuan, and a bit of stuff that I'll be talking about it tonight lah. Yep. So if you are settled down, just give me a moment, and I will just quickly send out some of the messages out there. So if you guys in any other network or community that you'd like to share these sessions with your friends and family, please feel free to do so. And I really appreciate that a lot of you guys have been private messaging me, telling me your experience, what you like about the sessions. Yeah, and yeah, so far live sessions has been kind of a challenge in the sense that it's not pre-recorded. In a sense, I cannot like script, I cannot so-called write it or edit the video in a sense, very like so-called YouTubey in a sense. Wow, a lot of hook, keep on showing you hook after hook so that you will be continue to stay on and watch throughout. Yep. Okay, so let me just go down the last portion, which is the YouTube, no, our Goodwill community site. Yeah. All right. So luckily, things are moving okay. Luckily, the YouTube didn't so-called stop in a sense that I couldn't use the same session. Yep. So yeah, things are going as smooth. Yep. Cannot complain anything. All right. Okay. Yep. So this is settled as well. All right. Okay. So once again, thanks everyone. So let me see who are here. So we have Fire Jenny, Jax, Justin Tan, Tan Chai Bing. Oh, okay. Justin is Chai Bing. All right. Hi, Kun Kun. Hi, Shi Leong. All right. Chuyan is here. Deborah Chai. All right. Jocelyn. Okay, Rupert. All right. Yeah. Hi, Rupert. So tonight I'm not covering anything that Rupert raised. But some interesting things that I find lately lah. Huh? So market is really hot. Market is breaking all time high after all time high and all time high. So there's a U-turn in the crypto as well. Bitcoin also hitting all time high. Yep, market is already frenzy, and then a lot of people are talking about the AI bubble. Yep. So just to make sure that everyone is in the same page. So right here, I'm not doing any stock pitching. I'm not doing any financial advice. It's purely what happened in the market, and then with the market news, what can we research? What can we find out from all those news? In the end of the day, what we're aim right here is this: we are here not to make the most money in the world. We are not here to be the top trader or so-called like number one investor in the world. So right here, all of us here are uh, uh, with with our own other commitment. So here, right, to what we want to achieve is in the most effective manner, shortest time, where we can share with us or share with everyone of you what are the market news, the critical one, and then if the news is so critical, and then we decipher in a sense that is it affecting our portfolio or is not affecting our portfolio. And after which, with all those who are affecting our portfolio, how are we going to deal with it? So in the end of the day, we would like to build our portfolio where we can sleep soundly at night, very so-called strong and fundamental, stable things that will not affect our day-to-day life. Because in the end of the day, all of the money are our hard-earned money. So if you agree with it, just type in the one. Goodwill logo terbalik. Yeah. Okay. Hi. Yep. Goodwill logo turn. All right. Okay. So AIMN Rupert. Yeah. Tuesday actually very busy. Is it? Yeah, Tuesday actually very busy. Okay, okay. ARM no ICD. Yeah. AMD also like, yep, exactly. So AMD they have got another deal. I think 30% like price increase. I mean, in terms of like AMD stock price. Okay. Yep. So without further ado, let us dive straight in. So if you like to share this like link to your friend, please feel free to do so. All right. So just copy here for you guys, easy to share as well. Yeah, feel free to share. All right. So remember to hit like, hit love. All right. So if you don't know where to hit the like, so if you are watching through YouTube, right, YouTube desktop, you will see like button right there. If you are watching through your phone, you can just minimize your chat and then click on the like button. All right. And then in the chat function itself, there's this love button that you can always hit on lah. All right. Okay, so right now things are settled. Right now, time is 8:10. Hopefully, we can cover the public YouTube portion within the 40 minutes. So the first 20 minutes we will talk about the market updates, market news. The next 20 minutes we'll talk about some of the companies that we are looking into and then the updates. So one of the companies that I'm sharing tonight is Nike. So yep. So for the longest time, earnings update we talk about tech, we talk about software, we talk about AI stuff. So tonight we are going to talk about so my friend is like more man on the streets that could understand, which is retail and fashion. Is it fashion or we call it sports, sports fashion? Yeah, Lululemon. Right. So we are not talking about Lululemon tonight. We are looking into Nike. One of the reason why we're looking into Nike is because Nike have some troubles uh, since 2021, and then the CEO left, and then their so-called very old-time employee come back, and right now is reversing the so-called retuning to or readjusting their business. All right. So what is he doing to readjusting the business as to how a sport brand like Nike can turn around? So later we'll look into the strategies that he'll be doing. All right. Okay, so last check right here on my phone. And then if yep, so if you are ready, Aaron, just give me a okay, thumbs up or any emojis that you like to put in. All right, so that I can start off tonight. Okay. Yep. So just to add on, right now I'm reading this book, which is Maurice Chang, the TSMC founder. And then I also got this book from Atlee. So if you guys know Atlee, so he's known one of the very experts in REITs. He also like so-called participate in listing REITs before, and right now he also written a book, DIY RIP, which is DIY your retirement investment planning. So for you guys, if you are in so-called nearing retirement or in a stage that by closing retirement age, you might want to check out this book because it's very relevant to people who are planning for retirement, especially those who are very close to it. Because what he shared with me is like he's writing a book that what he is doing, and then what he thought would be beneficial for people who are at retirement age. Yep. So, but if you like to plan towards it, you also can read it, lah. Yeah. So, yep. So I believe all of you guys are very young right here. So maybe you have not reached the retirement age yet, but it's always good to plan early. Do a little better. All right. So let me just share my deck for tonight. All right. Okay. Yep. Let me just resize a bit. This is viewing. Okay. All right. So I maybe next time I change like 69, so the viewing will be much more pleasant. All right. Let me just. Okay. I think this one will be good. All right. Okay. So AI mega bet. How many of you have put in investment which is AI related? If you have, just type in a one. Any companies that is AI related, so spend from Microsoft, Oracle, Amazon, even until like NVIDIA, AMD, or Supermicro, all the AI value chain. Yep. So yeah, so like Louis, Don Lee, Qiong-kun, Mijani, Hui Kwang, Kit Lee, Xiaoting, Rupert, Kun, Justin. Yeah, all of us have some investment in AI related stuff. Yep. So that's why I believe all your portfolio will be experience some of your all-time high as well. All right. So first of all, congratulations for taking investment so-called opportunities that you thought is beneficial to your portfolio. So Kuhn also shared some of the companies that will be announcing the earnings, like a company like ASML in next 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know ASML is in next week, but I just read from what Kun have been sharing. So so sometimes I also listen from Kun. Yeah. Oh, all right. So it's like in the next week. Okay. I didn't know until like Kun share. Yeah. So this is the thing. Whereby when you're in a community, whereby communities that are actively sharing or letting each other know, letting each other update with the latest development, sometimes it's very beneficial because in the end of the day, this is what we want to be closely updated. Yeah. Okay. So for those who are just new to this community, yep. So we have been covering companies like NVIDIA, TSMC, or even we also talk about DeepSeek, how it affect NVIDIA because of the low cost model they have been building upon. We will talk about Doximity. Even we have this update like in 2 weeks before. Texas Pacific Land, which is the one that is like in oil resources. Um, yeah, so even Meta, all right, will they have issue like if like there's some antitrust that happening? So Google, we'll talk about it, but Chrome is not an issue because they have passed. There's no so-called like antitrust like lawsuit at the moment for Google in terms of like their Chrome right now. Yeah, so it's clear. Who antitrust again? Yeah, I think right now the biggest antitrust should be OpenAI. They are tying so many parties together. I felt OpenAI. Yeah, if OpenAI have browser, yeah, they have browser. Even Anthropic have browsers, which is called Comet, so called under Claude. All right, so these are all the things that we've been covering, updating. So last week we talked about like is it last day? I think this is last week. Intel and Nvidia, there's 5 billion deal, but after which there's 100 billion deal that they talk about. Nvidia investing into OpenAI. So it's like wow, there's a lot of news recently. So if you have missed out any segments that we shared so far, you can always go to our GoodWhale so-called channel. So for those who are here, please make sure they are follow. And if you find this is good, just share it with your friend and family. All right. Okay. So today, yesterday. So yesterday we met at Lee, and that's where I got this book, DIY RP. So yep, I got his signature as well. So thank you, Ali, for sharing his knowledge. So he is a very he's very so he's like very wealthy, retired, and then but he's always very humble to share his like opinion, his view, what he's learned from the market with everyone. So I always find the short 1 to 1 hour, 1.5 hour short chat with him very beneficial. I learned so much from him. Yeah, in fact, I've been in talk with like uh Kev, whereby we'll be meeting hopefully next Monday because Kev like he said he's some duty shift, and then maybe I'll confirm with you again Monday. Is Kev here? Yeah. So yeah. So we'll talk about our meeting in Singapore. All right. So just a quick update on the market right now. Market is all time high. Any stock tip? Market is all time high, and then we are in grid mode again. So yeah. So from 50 bounce back to 57. All right. And so this or last week itself, Nike has just reported their earnings. We will look into it. And next week, or which is this week itself, there's not much interesting companies. Maybe some of the Bitcoin company, yeah, or so-called blockchain companies. But I have not looked at all these companies before. Maybe Hui would be interested, but I never looked at this two before. Buy RNA, or what is this called? Applied blockchain. Yeah, yeah. So these are the companies that I haven't looked into, but next week I have other companies that I would like to share with you guys. So Kev, like share with me, hey, maybe we should look into TED, the trade desk, because the share price have been better badly, and maybe we can found some opportunity right here. Okay, Rupert Genting. All right. So maybe before we start, we'd like to rehash this thing again. So all in all, again, what we are always dealing right here is money. All right, how to manage money, how to invest better amount money. But what's the problem with money? What's wrong with money? And there's this like Forbes News magazines that always so-called like to report or share some of the most trendy or most talked about founders in US. And all this that is so-called successful back then, all fall into fraud and all are jailed. So Elizabeth Home, which is the companies that do the blood detecting company, and this is what is it called? S- what's his name again? Something to do with fries one. So this is what is the I can't suddenly couldn't recall his name. So he is one of the exchange founder lah, the blockchain exchange founder. What is it called? FTX, yeah, FTX. Sam Bank Friedman, something along the line. Yeah, Sam Friedman. Yeah, and the most recent one is Charlie Javis. So he is also a founder, which founded this company called Frank, and then he fraud JP Morgan, whereby he said there's 5 million students in their database, but in actual fact, they have produced 4 million fake account. Yeah, and he's got jail like 7 years. So all in all, money is a great servant if you know how to utilize it, look it as a tool, but it's a very bad master. So more or less, these people see money as their master, and then that's where they glorify money, and then they do all it takes to make money, which is what we want, what we don't want to do. All right. So for us right here, we are very clear. We want money to be our great servant, and then to provide us better life in that sense. All right. Hi, Kev. You are not late at all. So, right. We are just, of course, just started. So there's always news out there that talk about, wow, AI bubbles is at 17 times bigger. So is AI 17 times the .com, and is AI 4 times larger than subprime bubble? So there's a lot of sensational news that come out. So what do you think? Do you think this news supporting what we are doing here, or what? So when you look at this news, how do you feel? When you look at this news, wow, AI bubble is 17 times bigger, 4 times bigger than subprime bubble. Okay. So what I would like to borrow Francis Bacon is this. News sometimes is also a great servant to share with us things that are interesting in the market, but it's a very bad master if you just keep chasing news. Right. So if you just keep chasing news, trade with the news, that's when sometimes you're bound to fall into some holes lah. All right. Okay. And likewise, news media channel. All right. So there's a lot of media channel publishing all this news. All right. So for us tonight, let us see what our servants are showing to us. So what did they serve in our plate? So so this week itself is all about AI mega bets. After the 100 billion deals, what is new deal? All right. So this is the most recent new. OpenAI right now is valued at 500 billion, and right now they are the most valuable private companies. All right, $500 billion overtake SpaceX. All right, and people who are working with OpenAI right now, they have a chance to sell their shares. All right, so the early employees for OpenAI right now, they can sell away the shares. All right, so previously, when they got on the shares, they are given like a much cheaper valuation. So right now, they can sell away their shares at 500 billion valuations. So who are the so-called taker of all these shares, right? So they are namely like Thrive Capital, SoftBank, so the Japanese like Sun Zhenyi, SoftBank, and then there's like Abu Dhabi MGX and also T Rowe Price. So these are the parties who would take over these employee shares and continue to boost the valuations of the company, right? So with that itself, Sam Altman also benefit from it lah. And even earlier, NVIDIA also like vested close to 100 billion. Okay, so include ex-employee. I believe so, and I don't know. Depends on the contract itself. I don't know whether the ex-employee or ex so-called like founding team, when they receive the shares, do they have like binding term in the sense that, or if they have left the company, they are so-called forfeited. So this one I'm not sure. All right, but definitely Sam Almond is one of the one of the beneficiaries lah. All right. Okay, so what are the other news that are very, very interesting in this moment is this thing. So OpenAI, they have this so-called agentic commerce. So what they do is they roll out this commerce feature with Etsy and Shopify. So if you heard Etsy and Shopify before, just type in the one. So means you have purchased stuff from like Etsy, the so-called like more artsy stuff, type of Amazon, right? Another one is Shopify. Shopify is like a website. I'll just put it as like a shop house online shop house building website because Shopify they empower individual merchants or so-called individual so-called like creators to open up a shop very easily so they can sell their stuff online. All right, so these two platforms, when they announced they are partnering with OpenAI to allow ChatGPT to share some of the products on the platform so they can buy straight away. They call it agentic commerce. So on the day itself, when they announced this news, right, Etsy share price just shoot up by 16%. So for example, what happened is, so let's say you are looking for um, a painting, all right? So you just search for Mona Lisa type of painting, for example. And then after maybe ChatGPT gives you some suggestion and give you some idea, and then they will share with you some products from Etsy. And then you can check out from Etsy on ChatGPT itself. Yeah, so this is the agentic commerce. Yeah, so it also tied up with Shopify. So Shopify, when this news being announced, right, share price also rise by 6%. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, and then at the back end, all this like transaction is powered by Stripe. All right, so Stripe is still like private company, so you cannot invest. There's no share price, but definitely Stripe will be one of the beneficiary parties, lah. Right, so this is the agentic commerce that they announced. All right, yep. So this will boils down to the questions that I like to raise right here. So right now, people when they want to buy something, right, they will not go to Google to ask, right? So Google function. They will go Gemini, for example. They will not go Google and ask. They may not go to Amazon and search. They may not go to YouTube to find out what are the products. They just ask directly through ChatGPT. So would you think this new habit would get users, so people like us, right, just switch our habit from browsing Shopee, from browsing Lazada, from browsing Amazon, and just drive straight into ChatGPT? What do you think? How many percent will you move to ChatGPT, or will you keep 100% of your shopping in all those online shopping platform in percentage? So if you switch 100%, you say 100%. If you switch 10%, you switch 10%. All right. Okay. All right. It happened lah. No, Google 1 year plus. Okay. All right. More convenient. Everything. So Coco say, I'll just go ChatGPT and buy stuff from ChatGPT. I mean, as a channel. All right. Okay. 50%, 10%. Okay. Okay. Yes. Quick search. Very good. All right. So this is the things that I like to highlight right here. So it's not to say that this will happen immediately overnight because this is still bound to habit. So from habit wise, people will still go to like maybe some online channels. People will, from habit wise, they will buy some from TikTok Shop, for example. But if you see yourself shifting slowly over to ChatGPT, or maybe shifting slowly over to Facebook Llama to do some transaction, maybe you should like look into like all this switch. And if you have invested in some of the companies, they are in the commerce or all this valuation, then we need to take note of, right? Okay. So the question is, there's this one company called the Trade Desk. So the Trade Desk, they are supporting demand side of like advertising so-called space demand side. So would this business being affected with all this agentic commerce? So in other words, this space will not be you will not go to all these Google or whatever or websites to check or browse really. So all your activity will boils down to just ChatGPT. Yeah. So this is the question. All right. Yeah. So next week, let's look into the trade desk, and then let's look into human habit. Would human habit everything switch to ChatGPT? Will we not browsing any site anymore, or will we not watching any YouTube anymore? Because trade desk is in all this space. If our habit are still at this space, means trade desk will still possible, potentially or possibly continue to make like revenue or profit from that. Okay, so we will look into this next week. If you are okay, everything has been okay. Yeah, so this will cover like next week on the trade desk. So thanks, Kev, for raising that. Then I will not keep scratching head. What should I prepare next week? All right. Yep. So come back to the agentic commerce. Yep. So right now, we are looking into like maybe just through chatting, and then we'll make transaction. So this chatting might be all these like chat GPTs or all these like conversation AI that will happen. Yep. So let's keep a close eye. Right now, I didn't see it affecting as much because maybe we still need to talk to human. Maybe we still need to go to the online storefront to check out. Yeah. So our habit have not changed yet. This is what I my habit. I would just put it. My habit have not changed yet. All right. So this is the first piece of news on OpenAI. They talk about agentic commerce. Second piece of news is this: how many of you have been using like so-called like uh image AI image generator? If you have so, just type in any AI image generator that you've been using. For example, ChatGPT, there's Sora. Previously, there's this called Mid Journey, and there's this thing called Leonardo AI. There's this thing under Gemini, you also can do that. So you can just type in Gemini, or more specifically, right now, maybe you use Nano Banana model. All right, yeah. So these are all available AI image or even video generator out there. Okay, yeah, ChatGPT. Okay, okay. So ChatGPT at the back is powered by Sora lah. So yeah, so Leonardo Banana. All right, no image. Okay, so there's this latest Sora 2 app available in US. Is by ChatGPT or is by OpenAI lah. All right, so after they have launched this app, like overnight, it become the top one most downloadable app on Apple Store. Yeah, it's only available at Apple Store. Yeah. So just like what happened last time, right? When they open up ChatGPT, shoot, in a short amount of time, 100 million user, right? So right now it's happening on the Sora app. All right. Okay. So when I heard about Sora app, right, I thought it's an AI image generating app, but it's not just AI image or AI video generating app. It's a let me just share with you the image right here. Okay. All right. So just to update everyone. Okay. Right here. Okay. So what it is a social platform that allows you to use the AI image generator or AI video generator to create content. And use this AI creation content to share with your so-called your social platform. So it's something like a TikTok with AI capabilities. So if you follow, just type in one. Is it free? Yes, it is free, but it's only available in US and I think maybe Canada. It's not available here yet. Yeah. So some of the very interesting video that generated in this Sora by OpenAI is they are so-called prompting Sam Altman stealing GPUs, and these are the videos that come out. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so this is some of the things that like being created. Very interesting. Yeah, and it's free. Yeah. So just to be mindful right here, just to raise awareness right here, when things is free, we are the product. When things is free, we are the product. So if you know, right, Meta, which is Facebook, Facebook, they have their own Meta AI, which is their version of like ChatGPT, So if you uh, converse with Meta AI will pick up your intention and show you ads. If you follow, just type in one, stand for make sure you know that when you use Meta AI to chat, to type in your intention, type in your interest, type in what you're looking for, most likely you'll receive ads from them in their ecosystem. Yeah. So this is what they will be doing. This is what they will be doing. When things is free, we are the product. Yeah. It might be annoying for user. It might be very annoying for user in a sense that users might jump ship whatever, but Meta is taking the risk. But for Meta investor, yeah, they are very happy to see this happening. Yep, yeah. And when things go wrong, who responsible for what? All right. So these are the things whereby we keep questioning ourselves, or keep questioning things like Sora. So there's so many like fake video, deep fake video, whatever that created and then spread around. In the end of the day, who responsible for what? At the current moment, there's no like so-called like laws, there's no regulation on this space. So right now it's very free play. So much so that if you have used 11 Labs or if you have used like some of the video generating, which HeyGen, yeah. So even HeyGen, they have some AI detection to stop you from using so-called prominent figure. So for example, I ever tried using HeyGen to create a 周杰伦 video, but once I put in 周杰伦 or once I put in some footage or whatever, right, immediately you pick up and then say you cannot use like this so-called prominent figure. But what I see right here for Sora, right, they haven't put up the guardrail yet. Yep. So yeah, so this is the thing we need to be take note about. All right. So let's come to this news that been covered like last week. I think it's not last week, 2 weeks ago, where we talk about NVIDIA with OpenAI, like 100 billion deal, and then they're talking about 10 gigawatt. All right. So if you follow this news, just type in one or type in yes. All right. Yep. So very interestingly, yep. So they talk about 100 billion deal. They talk about 100 gigawatts kind of like data centers. All right. And just yesterday, some of you have been picked up AMD also with a deal, OpenAI, 6 gigawatt. So if you have followed this news, just type in 6 lah, stand for 6 gigawatt. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So right now, what they are talking about is there's this like M1 450 series of GPUs from AMD would be deploying in the next half of 2026. 1 gigawatt. So they talk about 6 gigawatt, right? Multi-year, multi-generation. So they were implementing 1 gigawatt in second half of 2026. Yeah. So it's M1 450 version. So when they when they share this news, right, immediately there's two questions that come in my mind. So what does 6 gigawatt, 10 gigawatt means in data center? You have this question also, just give me question mark. Yeah. What is 6 gigawatt? What is 10 gigawatt? What is this 6 or 10 gigawatts? All right. So here, to save your time, I go do research. I go find out what is 6 gigawatt, what is 10 gigawatt. And I always thought gigawatts, right, is a measure of electricity. Yeah. We don't use gigawatt, maybe we use kilowatts, kWh. Yeah. Or yeah. So I have this conversation with the scientist in our team, which is Jiaxuan. I asked him, hey, so what is kilowatt? What is kWh? What is like I thought it's talk about electricity, and what does it do with data centers? And I also asked about like what these kilowatts measure. Is it really electricity? Because what I understand, like for heat, right? We talk about joules, kilojoules, and then yeah, so it's like very confusing. So long story short, so why they use gigawatt is this. One of the most crucial factor in running a data center is electricity. So instead of talking about how many document size or so-called TB or GB in terms of like data processing size, right? They talk about they use electricity as a measurement because in their day, the limiting factor is electricity. It's not about the data transmission in and out. It's about the electricity that used to do compute. So that's why they use 6 gigawatt, 10 gigawatt as a measurement of the data center. Because these data centers will need so-called the electricity size of 6 gigawatt or 10 gigawatts. Yeah. So this is what I learned so far. You ask me why they use that. Actually, I'm not quite sure. This is what I learned and what I perceive right now. So every gigawatts need a lot of electricity, which is energy. So this will link back to energy resources that will be needed in power up all this data center. And what I read from like some of the articles, right? So some of the cities right now they are starving. The so-called there's like very scarce resources, electricity, and some of the city states their electricity bill have shoot up because of all these needs in data center. Yeah. So the AI value chains will not just be the chip maker, the model maker, so-called so-called the training model, or even the infrastructure or data infrastructures like so-called super micro or the racks or whatever or CPU. Energy play a very crucial role in all this as well. Okay. Yeah. So if you follow thus far, just give me a like or give me a thumbs up right here. Or give me any emoji. All right. Yeah. So I also learning all this like from scratch, huh? Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, so let me just like share this screen right here. All right. So the second question I have is here. So aren't OpenAI already signed a deal with NVIDIA and using all their GPUs? Why they want to sign with AMD as well? Isn't NVIDIA a really big deal already, like 10 gigawatts, 100 billion? So right now you sign with like your competitor, which is like AMD. Remember, NVIDIA vested in OpenAI, right? So OpenAI, go sign a deal with AMD. Go sign a deal with your competitor. It's like, what are these guys doing? All right, okay. So instead of seeing them as a competitor, let's look at what their products. What is the difference between these two products? All right. So AMD, they will be doing or they will be building their data centers with this like MI450 model. And NVIDIA, when they build their data centers, right, they are building with this Vera Rubin model. Right? So these are the difference between these two models, right? So in short, I'll say, hey, if looking at these two, right, what's the difference and who is better, right? So all in all, right, uh, other factors, right, NVIDIA is slightly better. Only the memory portion, AMD MI450 is so-called expected to offer more memory per GPU. All right. So ecosystem is like NVIDIA have the better one. The rack system, NVIDIA so-called comparable. Yep. So the slightly difference is really the memory portion. The or AI performance, right? NVIDIA is slightly better. All right. So what they share right here is a bit different in the sense that NVIDIA is very good at computing. So they are very fast in computing. So maybe NVIDIA chip will be better in training the model. So right now, a lot of like LM whatever, they need to train model, right? So they would use NVIDIA chips or NVIDIA so-called like data center. But when it comes to inferencing, right? Maybe they don't need that kind of computing power or that kind of requirement. They can use AMD to do those inferencing one. Maybe this is just maybe, yeah. They might be still using AMD as training model, but they may use AMD for inferencing. Yeah. So if you follow so far, just type in 2, stand for a difference between NVIDIA Vera Rubin model and AMD M1 or MI450. Yeah. So these are two questions that come to mind, right? So why like gigawatts? And second is they really have NVIDIA. Why AMD? Why not just buy like NVIDIA one? Yeah. So there's this slight difference whereby they make use for different purposes, training or inferencing. Uh, uh, a easier, so-called a simpler language of talking about inferencing is application. Yep. So you have all your models being trained already, right? You need to use the train model. So instead of like use the high spec of cheap training model, you can use like lower spec one, which is maybe NVIDIA. This one, just from what I learned, you use a cheaper one in a sense to do inferencing, to do application. So for us, we are not training the model. We are the one who applying the model they have trained. So maybe we will not use like NVIDIA chip. We just use like So when we send our queries, right, you go through AMD chip instead, right? So these are the things that I gathered thus far. But of course, things will always change, right? Okay. And then what is more like shocking news to me is this. Yesterday, there's this OpenAI Dev Day. Any developer right here, if you're a developer right here, just type in yes. If you're not a developer, just type in no. Right. So I guess this is one of the most like watch like dev day for all the developer out there. I just guess lah, huh? So I would guess all the developer out there, they would watch out for OpenAI Dev Day than the Apple WWDC, which is the product launch day. Yeah. So for commoners, we'll just watch so-called we'll watch Apple 17 Pro or iPhone 17 Pro. But for developers, maybe this is the news like or the events they will go to, right? So these agentic kits that are just like announced, right, really shocked me. So right now, uh, instead of going NAN, Zapier, or Make.com to do your automations and then apply any model to generate so-called your result or generate output, right? You can just build it on your OpenAI. Means you can create an agent on OpenAI. Yeah, you can just create in the sense that you don't need to uh, develop a code. You can just use drag and drop manner in a flow chart, like what you see right here. When I look at this, it blew up my mind. So for the longest time, I want to go use NAN to build some AI automation. But right now I see, if ChatGPT have built this, do I still need to go to NAN? But of course, NAN is like multi-model. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini. But if ChatGPT is good enough, maybe we just stay within ChatGPT ecosystem. Yeah. And they are potentially killing off like NAN or even Make.com or even Zapier with all those automation. Yeah. Very scary. Right? Okay. Yep. So some of the news like is Amazon lagging behind? Yeah. So I will not do this much. So Palantir. So Palantir, there's this news come up recently. So there's this like liner come out that on the day itself, I think it's 6% drop. Yeah, 6% drop. So this is from the memo from the US Army. What they basically say is the things that you do right, nice try, but your tech doesn't actually work when people are shooting at each other. Means the data system that Palantir pulled together, right? They didn't get the most updated or most accurate info or analysis from the platform. And this news itself from the Army memo, right? The share price dropped 6%. Yeah. So for Palantir investor, maybe this is the thing you should keep following on. Yeah, because this is not a good news. This is not a good news. Yeah. And actually, in actual fact, even the reason like report from MIT, right? They also say the same thing. So MIT, when they talk about like what? Actually, I can use. Oh, all right. I just found this thing. Never mind. So MIT, there's found out like actually for all those AI automations or copilot out there, right? In the B2B format, they said 95% of them, right, has flawed, means it's not working. Why? Because the integrations, the silo data, and the workflow are broken. So even though you have like Palantir that put all things together, right? In the end of the day, 95% of this are flawed. So this is what from MIT lah. Yeah. So in the end of the day, yes, you want to integrate, give you the most accurate information, right? In the end of the day, it just create more confusion. And in the end of the day, right, if you put into army term, right, you are shooting each other. Yeah. So this is definitely not a good news for Palantir. Drop 6%, but later up 6% again. Yeah. So this is how market is so irrational right now. Any news, it will just move. Yeah. And sometimes even if no news, right, it will move even more. Yeah. Okay, so this is the first portion, which is I spent like close to 25 minutes on it. So right now, if you are okay with go to the second segment, just type in number 2. Can drop more. All right. So right now, you just quickly go into Nike earning. All right. Is there anything interesting? So Nike, their previous CEO is called John Donahoe. And John Donahoe, because of Nike falling into very bad crisis, people are not buying their shoes. They have very bad internal issues. Their wholesaler don't want to get like Nike shoes to sell, and it's being forced out. And then the person who picked up the patent is called Elliott Hill, right? So this person, worked since in the intern day in Nike for 30 years, and he retired. I think it's in 2020 or 2021 ish. And when John Donahoe forced to pass on the baton, right, Elliott Hill is being called back to pick up the baton as the CEO to drive Nike great again. So with Elliott Hill, can Nike beat great again, like America great again? Yeah. So what do you think? Yes or no? All right. So this company haven't beaten by China company, right? Very good, very good. We will talk about their China market as well. So have they been killed in China market? All right, first thing, no more Nike. So Cocoon wear A6. The A6 is also a listed company in Japan. A6. All right. Okay. Like DT. What is DT? Decathlon, is it? I don't know what DT means. I still buy Nike shoe. I like on now. Yeah, all right. On holding. I haven't looked into the origin of on holding. Maybe you look into a bit of origin of Nike and also a bit of how Elliott Hill are going to talk about or reorganize or regenerate Nike business. Like Donald Trump. Okay. Okay. Donald Trump in short. Okay, let's look into Nike. Yep. So if you have time, let's watch this few clip. If you have time, I'll share this public link later on all these clip that I've gathered. So when he stepped back as Nike CEO, there was an interview by Fortunes. All right. So you watch this video. But in the latest earnings update, right, he also rehashed some of the strategies that he like to do, and then right now he like to go back to sport offense. All right. So I didn't do slide on it. Maybe I just do by narrating. So what Elliott Hill started off from a Nike, and right now he like to implement some strategies to bring Nike back again. So maybe I just share these two short story of Elliott Hill. All right. Okay. All right. So Elliott Hill, if you go to his LinkedIn profile, you'll see that he joined Nike since his intern day. All right. So how exactly he joined Nike? And then this might be the lessons from some of the young graduate out there or young undergrads out there. If you have some companies that you like to join, first you can run some market analysis or market study about this company. So this is how Elliott Hill started off. So Elliott Hill 30 years ago, before he joined Nike, he liked Nike as a brand. And then he used Nike as a case study for his graduate studies. I think it's not great, undergrad studies. So in his school days, he ran a report, ran an analysis on Nike. And so happened that when he's in uni, right, there's this Nike personnel came down to conduct some classes or conduct some sharing. And he used this opportunity to present his work for this Nike personnel. And from there, he got his first internship. Yeah. Anta is quite popular. If you know another brand called Fila, right? Fila is also under Anta. Yeah. So other than Anta, there's Leaning. Other than Leaning, there's this brand called 361. Yeah. So there's a lot of Chinese brand, but I will not talk about that Chinese brand at this moment. Okay, but let's look at Nike. All right. But why I want to bring up Nike is this. Nike had been the longest while one of the best marketing company. This is also reason why Elliot Hill run so-called run his studies on Nike, because Nike is a very strong marketing company. All right. And how exactly Nike is going to be great again? How he like to relook at the business as a business. Okay. So this is what he want to share. All right. So one of the biggest problem that Nike faced previously under John Donahoe helm is this. John Donahoe, when he took over as CEO, right, one of the things that he thought about is direct to consumer. So in order to get close to the customer, to know what customer like, he like to bring all his sales under his own channel, which is online channel called direct to consumer. Right. So with this direct to consumer manner, right, they can just straight away cut off the middleman, sell straight away to the end consumer. It works very well on COVID days when everything go online. All right. But as consumer like us, some of the consumer they have different consumption habit. And people who go to Nike store and people who go to Royal Sporting House, or people who go to factory outlet, or people who go to Foot Locker, all these different customer are from different profile and have different needs and want when they come to purchasing their sport shoes. If you know where I'm going to, just type in the one. So in other words, people who go to online, there are certain group of profile. Okay. So what Elliot here right now he's raising is this. All these different channel is uh, important, and all these different channel serve different profile, and all these different channel would might very likely have different product offering because they are looking for different stuff, and price point differs as well. Yeah. So what he has regrouped is this. First thing, he regroups his company into two very important direction. First is sports company. Second is growth company. So in his first step back to the company, he showed this slide whereby he wanted to put Nike back as sports apparel company and also a growth company. Because under the helm of John Donahoe, some of the products, right, they are selling on DTC platform, right, Air Force One. For any Nike or sports shoes level, right, you know Air Force One is not a sports shoe, it's a casual shoe. And it sells well on DTC. That's why there's a lot of like stocks, there's a lot of productions that produce Air Force One and distribution or to distribute through online. So, in other words, they have lost their show as apparel, but not sports company or sports apparel or sports equipment company per se. Yeah. So, how all these sports companies started off is always when they are closest to the athletes. All right. So one of the so-called I think some of you guys put right. So one of the comment is like they need to find another MJ. Exactly. They need to find another sports athlete, a face, or they like on holding. So on holding, they get Roger Federer as an investor lah. But not so much right now. So-called Roger Federer right now is not a sportsman right now. They need to find a current athlete to become the sports brand. So, for example, right now they are very big in running. Nike running is one of the fastest growing segment in the in Nike business. And I can't remember the runner that run sub 2 hours in marathon. If you know the name, just type in. There's this marathon runner. He runs sub 2, which is under 2 hours. He complete marathon. Yeah. So right now, this person is also the face of Nike. So right now, they want to go back to the athlete to create uh, these shoes that power up athletes' performance. So they would like to refocus back on athlete performance who are using their product or wearing their product. So what they do in terms of their team, design team right now is this. So right now, there's this Nike running, there's this Nike basketball, there's this like maybe Nike tennis. So all these Nike, they have their own sub team to be close to their end athlete to produce products that are the athlete love it and improve their performance. So they can claim that all these product makes you the best athlete. Yeah, what 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐽, yeah, yeah, something along the line. Thank you, Loon Shark. All right, yeah. So instead of sharing with you, this is the coolest lifestyle brand, we just focus on the direct consumers and sell more and make money. Right now, they go back to their why, so that when they go to their how and what, it works far more better. So back to the why, they like to create apparels or shoes that can bring the best performance for the athlete. Yeah. So if you think this story can sell, just type in a 1. If you think this story so, just type in a 2. So this is from Elliott Hill. So they refocus back on their strategy, which is be close to the athlete and focus on these 3 main brands: Nike, Jordan, and also Converse. Yeah. If I can write sub 2 hours, I will buy. Yeah. So this is the story behind Elliott Hill. He want to refocus back on athletes. Yeah. Mm. So this is how all the sports, so-called sports shoes apparel companies, how they grow lah. And I don't know about Adidas, but Reebok, I like to play basketball when I'm young. And there's this like basketball player that I admire a lot, which is Allen Iverson. So Allen Iverson and also Shaquille O'Neal, these two person previously they are Reebok sports so-called brand ambassador. So they have shoes that with their name like AI3. All right. So yeah, so I'm that era. Yeah. So right now there's what SGA. I don't know any basketballer right here. There's SGA. There's Jokers. There's like which Jokic. There's like LeBron James. Yeah. Okay. So if you go to Netflix, you go find this series by Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson. They are using the same strategies to revive Reebok brand, which is they get close to the athlete, provide athletes the shoes that most suits them so that their performance can improve. And not just because it's a beautiful shoes, but also the technical specs of the shoes. At first, when Shaquille O'Neal thought people just like beautiful shoes, but in actual fact, sports athlete right now focus a lot on technology as well. Yeah, I only like KD. Yeah, what KD is it under Converse? I can't remember. Yeah, so Converse they also have their basketball arm. Yep. Okay. So this is the strategy itself. Yeah, and let's look back into the financial matrices. All right. So after listening to the very inspiring on readjusting their strategy, let's look at their numbers lah. Huh? Okay. If it's just all talks, right, but no numbers, right? No point, because in the end, it's just in China it's called hot tapping. So what happened to their revenue? So after 1 year, the revenue luckily no drop. It just maintained like positive 1%. Gross margin reduced, basically is because of tariff. And then what good about this is they're able to reduce some of the inventory. So remember Air Force One is not a sports shoes. They are clearing all the old stocks. All right. Yeah. And so one of the plus point right here is their running brand is up by 20%. The wholesale so-called seller are picking up, building their order book by 5%. So this is good news. So previously they want to cut off the wholesales, right? So right now wholesales grow by 5%. Means they are building back the relationships, asking the wholesales to take their shoes, right? But I think some of you have pointed out, definitely they are having some challenges in China. Yeah, because China have their own local brand. China nationalists would like to go for local brand, but maybe basketballer is a bit different. Yeah, and then yeah, tariffs are hitting them. Nike Direct is not the things they like to put more emphasis on. So that's why Nike Direct also having some negative numbers. Yeah. So like I said just now, sharper consumer insight, more authentic storytelling means the sport athlete themselves right now, they have the shoes that built for them in that sense. Yeah. Okay. And then what CEO idiot here right now is like they put it as sport offense lah. The new formation of work that is more aligned with the athletes and more aligned with the brand like Nike, Jordan, and Converse. Yep. And then they will gain sharper insights to feel the innovation. So they would build the shoes with their athletes. Yeah. And in their day, yeah, this is they like to rewrite the stories that how it started. So how it started is this is the book here. If you read the book called Shoe Dog, all right, maybe I stop right here. So there's this book called Shoe Dog. I can't remember the founder name, something like Stephen King. Yeah, I can't remember the name. So how it initially sell or create the shoe is this: they go track and field and see the needs of the so-called the runner and build shoes that can help runners. And in the earliest day, uh, shoes in their primitive day, right? Uh, they didn't look much into grip in a sense. For example, right now, a lot of shoes, right, you have a lot of like grip at the bottom, and grip is very important for all those like track and field athletes. So with that itself, right, they think what is the likely design can help the track and field athletes to increase the grip so that they can run more stable and faster. And their first shoe design, right, is use a waffle machines to create their the what is it called? It's not shoe sole. It's the surface that touch the ground one. All right. So this is how Nike started. They create the shoes that fit meets the athlete needs, and in the end of the day, the athletes can perform, and also as they are the ambassador of shoes, people will buy the shoes that can improve their athletic performance. So this is how Nike started. So Nike actually they didn't change anything. In actual fact, they just go back to their origin. If you follow, just type in number one. China learned a lot from them. Now they create their own brands really. Yeah. So exactly. So there's one clip that talk about China learning from US, right? Uh, so what the Chinese so-called uh, suggesting is don't learn from the US, learn from the French. Learn from French, they can tell story, build story. So not just marketing, but tell story, build stories. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is like in terms of like Nike. All right. Okay, so let me just go back to the screen itself. All right. Where is it? Oh, click the wrong button. Okay. Yep. So first of all, in terms of their business performance, running is getting better. Sports apparel is not their focus right now, and they are so-called clearing off some of the out. It's not clearing out some of the not so sports brand like Air Force One, Air Jordan One. So clearing off all those inventory and focus on running where the people need big cushioning, stability, energy running. So this is the one of the shoes that use Pegasus, right? I can't remember which shoes really is being banned in marathon because they built with all this in mind. Yep. So one of the thing about Nike right here is this. So previously in John Donahoe because they are in direct to consumer, right? So they focus a lot on discounting. So a lot of like 30% off, 50% off. But with Elliott Hill, right, they come back with full price model. Means they don't want to go discounted model really. They want to go with brand people who are believe in their product, believe in their like sport performance. So they are went back to full price model. And there's some studies that run with the product pricing. So tariff, right, and also with inflation, right, all of these companies need to raise their pricing. All right. So do you think that all these sport apparel can increase their price? If you think so too, just type in a yes. If you think nobody will increase price, just type in a no. All right. So there's this study that run across to check are they pricing power with all these sport apparel brand. Yeah. So they have found that actually Nike are still able to price higher. In other words, so Nike have increased their general price generally across their product 5%. All right, so not too bad. But the best that can increase price across their product, right, is this company called On Holding, which is the ON, the shoes lah. Yeah, so they can increase by 10%. This also explain their margin and also their growth rate. Yeah, not for Sketcher exactly. Yeah, so there's run this like statistic, okay, and then some like general like sharing from their earnings of this. So they went back up in North America, but their Greater China is suffering. Yeah, Greater China is suffering. Yeah, direct consumer is suffering, but their wholesales are growing. So right now they have better relationship with people like Shoe Locker or Foot Locker, not Shoe Locker. All right. Okay. Yeah. So right now, this is what they are doing. They're going back to their best performing, which is running category, with the segregation with like Nike running, Nike basketball. They also segregate like Nike men, Nike women, and Nike kids. So with all this segmentation, right, they will produce the best product for each segment. Yeah. Would it increase the cost? I would say in terms of like headcount, definitely it will increase slightly. But in terms of brand or so-called brand awareness or a brand equity, I feel that they can build more community sense with the athletes and after which is the clientele. Right. So in the end of the day, we are unified under the sport offense. We are clear on what we want to take on to win the prize ahead. Okay, so before we go into the numbers more deeper, how do you feel about this? Do you think Nike got a chance? If you think got a chance, just type in yes. If you think there's no chance, type in no. Yeah, yes or no. Straightforward. Yes or no. Yeah, yeah. But this yes or no is not a buy or no buy or sell. It's just as a business itself, what do you see? All right. I think they better create one more, maybe call Nike Professional. In actual fact, I think they got leh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm. So revenue is just 1%. Uh, of course, they need to build more equity with the athletes. And after which, with the equity with the athletes, right? Athletes as a brand person, as a spokesperson, they can influence more. All right. Yeah. And Elliott Hill have already outlined, so-called outright say that this is going to take a while. It's not immediate. And they are work to build the portfolio together so that in the end of the day, they can drive revenue and profit that investor look for. So he has inject some like uh uh what is it called? Confidence, but not too much. Yeah. So in the end of the day, let's look at their valuation now, okay? So On Holding have the most premium valuation, which is 4 times, and then the worst is Sketcher. So I think some of you have spot on, Sketcher, if increased price, right, you not buy it. It reflect in their valuation. So Adidas is 1.3 times, Lulu is 1.8 times, Nike is around 2 times. So in actual fact, since like I think April onward, Nike recover better. So I think on the ground, especially in US, Nike have a higher brand equity. Yeah, in the end of the day, Nike is a US brand. Adidas is a European brand. Yeah. So I think Nike, in terms of like people who attach sport shoes to a brand, Nike is still the brand that people will go to. Even I asked our Philippines colleagues, right? She also said actually Nike is the number one brand, a sport apparel. Because Nike, they are very big basketball culture, very big US. So that's why Nike is still the brand that they look for. Yeah. But I have different thoughts as a retail brand. Retail, people like us, consumer, right, are very fickle-minded one. Which on trend now, you just buy that one. Not so much about performance. Which people go where, we go where. So the runner, they go ASIC, right? Everyone just go ASIC. Go on holding, right? Everyone just go on holding. Yeah. So marketing is very, very big thing in our in our in our space. The bigger marketing, the bigger influence. Yeah. So this is what I see lah. Consumer brand a bit tough. Okay. Right. So this is the second segment, which is Nike. Yeah, and of course, like the growth, right? Nike doesn't have the best growth, and Ono didn't have the best growth, 30% growth. All right. Yeah. But I have less like feeling with on holding or on brand shoe. Nike or Reebok have more sentimental value. Yeah. Former Adidas. For me, Reebok and Nike have more sentimental value. I have this impression. If I like to play the best basketball, I need to wear Reebok shoe. Just like my idol, he wear Reebok shoe. He play with so fanciful move that if I wear the shoe, I can perform the same. I'm this oldies old guy. All right. Okay. Yeah. So this is the second segment. So maybe just some prelude on what we be looking at in our private community. So in our previous few session, right, we have take this time, right, when market is very hot, right, no point just crashing into the market. Do like look at what to buy, what to sell, whatever. So for me, right, when market is so hot, right, I look at things that are maybe not directly related to my portfolio. Maybe there's some opportunities that we can look into. Yeah. So we have to nuclear. Yeah. So like I said just now, everything gigawatt, right? So we are energy deprived. We need a lot of energy to power up our data center. Yeah. So one of the companies that we like looked into previously is Oklo. So if you missed out, right, is streamed on September 23rd. Just look for this video and on I think it's 27 minutes. Yeah, you can just watch this. Right. And another one, which is quantum. So in June itself, you also go to look into quantum computing, and learn more about like how quantum technologies like supporting in like securities, supporting in computation. All right. So we also talk about this company called Iconic. Yeah. So these are companies that I look into. So just go into like December 22nd, 2024 on quantum computing. Right. So this time round, there's this another big topic or big in so-called segments that we talk about, which is rare earth. In Chinese, we call it C2. All right. So for Malaysian, we are very, very we have bad annotation with C2 because back then there's this company called Linus, Lynas. Any Malaysian still could recall this company? If you recall, just type in a one. If you don't know about this, just type in a no. Yeah, Linus. So Linus, they use Malaysia as a dump place, dump all the rubbish, so-called rubbish, in our shore. Yeah, I think if you know about Linus, I think you somewhat similar with my age already. Yeah, back then anti this a lot, so that's why I don't like this topic called rare earth. Yeah, but you couldn't deny that rare earth is very, very important and actually one of the top priority segments that US government is looking at. Because without rare earth, you couldn't produce the chip. Without rare earth, you couldn't produce the batteries. Yeah, so these are the few segments that are, or even magnets, right? So whenever there's a talk right now, right, the US government are looking into some investment, the price just shoot up. So this company called USA Rare Earth, The CEO just mentioned that they have some talks with the US government. Not even government is not even investing yet. Yeah. Trump could take a stake in USA rare earth. It's not Trump per se, it's the US government. So right now all these articles like to use DT as a topic or as a hashtag or as a hook. Uh, so immediately after it mentioned, right, the share price just went up. Yeah. So USA rare earth. So any trader right here, yeah. So rare earth is another thing that like the US government is frying. Yeah, not just AI, not just nuclear, not just so quantum right now is rare earth. All right. And a lot of all these resources company, right? They are very newly listed. And a lot of them are not making money yet. And USA rare earth is one of it. So if you look at their income statement, right? You didn't see revenue. You just see expense, losses. If you follow, just type in one. So USA rare earth, if you like to put your money into it, you know that this company is not revenue generating yet. And uh, if you are looking in all those like resources company, right? Resources company always look at very long timeline because there's a huge capex, there's a huge time, so-called like excavation period to processes period, and with this itself, right, that's why there's a lot of huge investment need to incur upfront and collect their return later on, and it takes years to return to profit one. Yeah, not making money but can go up. Tech company, yeah. Yep. So fire journey very, very spot on. So we will talk into it in our private company. So what are the people looking at when they look into this company investment, right? So yeah, so this is the one company. So we will talk about some of the companies that US government has vested. Some of them are not making money yet. Some of them are already making some revenue. And some of them maybe as so-called potential that you can look into. So right now, I think time is like, so right now time management is my problem. So right now time is 9:22. So if you like to join me in this private session, just scan this QR code. It's 9.99 per month, US dollar. And if you sign in on this, you'll be a 1 month complimentary. So I will not talk further than that. So if you're interested, just join me in Zoom by scanning this QR code. If not, this is the end of a YouTube live session. Thanks everyone for joining me on YouTube live. And if you are in our private community, let's hop on to our uh, Zoom session. All right, so I'll just post the Zoom link right here, and then let's see you guys on the other side. So once again, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you guys are loving the stuff that I shared so far, from public market news to company specific like Nike, and right now we go into Rev. So some prelude on what we'll be covering next week. We'll talk about the trade desk, all right, and in the so-called advertising online advertising space, there's supply and demand side. So TDD is on the demand side, so-called they call it DSP, demand side platform, to support all those like advertisers, all right, all those advertisers to go into different platform, yeah, to put on their advertisement. All right. So in 1 minute time, see you guys in Zoom. All right. So for those in YouTube, once again, thanks for joining me online. I'd like to see you guys every week. If you love this so far, just give me a like, share this to a friend, share this to your family, give me a love, type in the comments. Yeah, connect with me. And every Tuesday, 8 p.m., this is where I started. All right. So sorry, I started a bit late, like 8:05, because some technical issue in terms of connections. And once again, thanks for joining me on Well Pulse. If you like me or you like this channel, you like this content, just watch out this channel. Our recording will be edited and then we will be up in the next few days. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next week on YouTube, 8 p.m. live. Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks, Kev. All right. So see you at the other side. Stop sharing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.